You got to understand the protocol. Whatever country you're in, there's a certain protocol you have to do. You don't talk business unless you go to dinner. You go to dinner, and you don't talk business until you're into the 9th course. And by then, everybody's feeling good. You've had 17 courses, and they keep putting this picture of wine that keeps coming out of the back room. You don't really know what kind of wine it is, but it's the best wine you've ever tasted. So by the time you get to that point, then it's, you know, oh, by the way, we're doing a movie. And I said, oh, yeah, okay, I'm available. I love it here. And so then you talk, and you never really talk money. You talk character, you talk story. The director never talk money. It's always about stories and always about, you know, here's what we want to do and what do you want to do? Can you give me some ideas of what you want to do and how you would do this? So they would they take ideas because they gave, not only me, I think they gave Americans the credibility of knowing that they knew the market, they knew their marketplace, and they want you to do in the film what's good for you so you know that it can be played and sold in America. So they were very open to ideas and concepts and to characters and images that you brought automatically to the role. Oh yeah, there was scripts, but you were allowed to change. You could make changes right on the spot. I mean, that was the whole idea. The whole idea was to give you freedom and give you leeway to do what you want to work for you, you know. If you wanted to have a fight here while he was running, you want to stop and beat up 6 guys along the way, they bring in 6 stuntmen, let you beat up 6 guys, shoot people, whatever you wanted to do. If it was good for you, then they let you do it. Hollywood is so screwed up in their perception of what producers can do and what producers can't do. They think that a guy who makes low-budget films can't make big-budget films. But that's stupid. It's the other way around. Guys who make big-budget films have no idea how to make a low-budget film. If there is if there's a bed and 2 chairs and the script calls for a bed and 9 chairs, they don't really know how to make that change. You know, they wait, they stall. I mean, spend money, go bring 8 more chairs. We got to have 9 chairs in here. And the low-budget director says, no, hey, we can do this. We can move that over here. We can make that look like 9 chairs. We can put that one over there and hang it over here. Then we can shoot on that side of the room, take those same 2 chairs, put them on this side of the room, shoot that way. Now we got 4 chairs. I mean,
put a mirror here.
Yeah, they have no idea about low-budget filmmakers in today's market. But Tony Margheriti was a fun guy. You never really knew what he wanted you to do. You just, when you came to the set, it changed. So you had to be ready for Antonio because his mind was always going. He was probably the best effects guy in making these little prop towns or prop villages. I don't know how the projection, the miniature stuff. He was the best in. He was best in that. Duccio Cesare never brushed his teeth. Had a cigar hanging out of his mouth. Teeth was brown. Had a nasty mouth. I didn't like talking to him in front to him because his breath was not of the best. But a good director who didn't explain himself very well either because he didn't really speak English too well. He didn't believe in, the worst thing about him is that he didn't believe in lights. Most of his movies are underlit. I did a couple, we did one, Delta Force, that was so black it was unreleasable. Delta Force was unreleasable. This was Duccio. He didn't believe in lights. Castellari is Larry Cohen. He knows how to take a small amount of money and turn it into something interesting. The difference between him and Larry Cohen is Larry Cohen wants to be a big director and he wants to be, Castellari likes where he is. He likes his space. He likes making small films because that's where he has the most fun. And he knows that when he makes a big film, it's only 2 steps above what he's doing, and you really can't consider that a big film if you only go 2 steps above a low-budget film. You know, in the U.S., it's 100 steps above. You go from $1 million to $100 million. Over there, you go from 500,000 to $1.5 million, and to them, that's a big-budget film. But you still can't make that comparable to what's so-called big budget here. Lucio Fulci was a little guy who talked loud and didn't always read the script. He was not a script reader. He was always counted on. They always have a second person that works with him, who sort of gives him the story and tells what's going on. So he wasn't really the most prepared director. But I think probably because the films that I was in with him, he had a lot of Americans, so he counted on the American people to bring their role and their character to life on the screen. He didn't really direct. He was there dressed nice. He was there smoking his cigar and living the image of a director. He was a filmmaker because he knew image. He had it in his brain. He had it in his mind. He knew how to frame the camera. He knew what he wanted to see because he had a good eye of knowing what the camera saw was what he wanted to shoot. He just wasn't a character director. He wasn't a director that could lead you into a role and let you know where you were coming from and where you were trying to get to from the beginning to the end. He was not good at that because he didn't take the time to do it. He was more into images than he was into characterization. Fulci's film were more violence because you have to look at the character of the man. The man was quiet. He was soft-spoken, except when he went on his tantrums, and his tantrums was to hide his ineptitude for that day. So the way to do that is be loud, kill something, kill people, destroy something. It was all coming from this little quiet man who lived his life totally opposite, totally extreme opposite of the kind of films that he made. The guy would sit in a room at a dinner table, he'd never talk. You never know he was there. And then he'd come onto the set and he says, well, I'm not really prepared today. All right, God damn it, and there he'd go, you know. And he'd do it in a language that everybody didn't understand because Americans didn't always understand Italian. I learned Italian very well. So it was a psychological difference between the real man and the films that he made. And I think you find that in most directors or most people that are like that. I mean, the most violent people is the most quietest people. And the guy that's the most loud is the guy that's non-violent and just trying to get his bluff in.